Well, thanks for joining me again, Star Wars The Clone Wars action figure fans and collectors. This video is going to be a kind of a little bit of a review, a little bit of a comparison with a custom figure. So let's just go ahead and get right on into it. I managed to score the Commander Wolffe figure, which I was excited about, and I saw they were going to make him. And I was excited about it even though I had made my own custom Commander Wolffe figure. Actually, I made two Commander Wolffes. And I sold one to a fellow YouTuber and made myself another one. But even though I made one that I was pretty satisfied with, I was still curious to get my hands on the Hasbro version and compare it with my work. And just, happy to have another clone trooper. I want to tell a really quick story before I get into this, though. Today I got the Commander Wolffe at a local Walmart of mine. And I was hoping to find him when I went there. And of course, you get there and if you're a collector like me, you get there and you check the pegs and you either discover right away that you found something new or discover that there's nothing new there, and it's pretty disappointing discovering that you didn't find anything new. And that's kind of what happened at first. We got to the Walmart and I was with my son and we checked the pegs, and of course there was nothing too exciting on the pegs. So, however, there happened to be a stalker in the next aisle over, and so I took one of the figures to her and I asked her, I said, hey, I was wondering, if you have any back locations, could you check for me? I'm looking for a couple of these figures. And she said, well, let me check, and she scanned it and she said, yeah, we got a couple of back locations. So while she ran back to go and get those, I was just walking around the aisles, just browsing and everything, and for some reason something told me to look down on the floor, and I looked, and at the Walmart that I was at, there's actually a bit of clearance underneath the racks, and there's a couple of figures thrown up underneath there. Some kid probably threw them underneath there or something, and I pulled one out and it was Commander Wolffe. So I was like, yes, I got him. And there was another figure under there, and my son was looking for the new Ahsoka, and he got the new Ahsoka, so that was pretty cool. The lady came back with the boxes, but they were all repacks of Wave 1 from August, and so that was a little bit of a bust. I was hoping to maybe find him a Commander Wolffe too, but we'll get him one the next time around. Alright, so let's get into this. So here is this is the Hasbro version, and I'm going to talk about him first. I'll put my Commander Wolffe back there, and I think they did an awesome job on him. There is the Wolfpack emblem on his shoulder, and on the other shoulder is, I don't know what this symbol exactly means. It looks like a variation of the Galactic Senate thing to me. One of the things I was a bit nervous about was I had seen a couple of reviews on this Commander Wolffe figure already in the past 2 weeks. One from a friend of mine named Clonehead, and he was talking about the tightness of the helmet fit on the head. And then another I watched just the other day from flyguy.net saying that the helmet was tight. Part of the reason why the helmet is tight is because they did give Commander Wolffe a new head sculpt, which is one of the things that made me want to get him even though I had Commander Wolffe already. And then I think this is a variation of the Clone Trooper Heavy head sculpt, although they did re-sculpt it with the scar and the dead eye. And I'm going to actually do another video talking about the origin of this dead eye here. It comes from a mini-comic, and I'm going to do a video on that mini-comic. So stay tuned for that. However, when I did bust mine open, that was one of the first things that I checked. And yes, it is a tight fit, but it fits rather nicely. And I was also afraid about the chin sticking out on the bottom. It doesn't really stick out on the bottom. And it's kind of nice, actually, how it fits on there. It doesn't look too big or anything, and of course they did an excellent job on his painting of his helmet. He looks good. So I'm going to do just a real quick overview of the articulation. He's got a ball jointed head, ball hinged shoulder, ball hinged elbow, although this one doesn't want to bend. There it goes. Ball hinged elbow, swivel and pivot hand. This one's got the in and out pivot. can tell I haven't messed with him too much yet because that joint was really stiff. That's another thing about the head joint, was really stiff when I first put it on. He's got a, I guess, a ball hinged torso, swivel, ball hinged ankles. So really good articulation. Now my custom is what I want to talk about now. I just want to kind of, let me put his arm down here, compare a little bit here. And so there's my paint job versus Hasbro's. You can tell mine's hand painted, but still pretty darn close. And you can see on the helmet there also the paint job. You can see the color that I selected is almost completely dead on with what Hasbro put. There's the, let me get a good shot of the triangle there. There's your triangle, and I actually put a lot more kill marks because of course, you know, those are reminiscent of Boba Fett's helmet on mine, and mine are actually smaller, which is interesting. And my design wraps further around the helmet. Of course, I have no gray here. My rangefinder's arm is metal. My antenna is metal. Of course, that's custom all there. And lines on the Hasbro Wolffe are a little bit sharper, a bit more angular. But let's compare the arms. A little bit harder angles on the design there. Pretty close though, honestly. Very close. And of course my Commander Wolffe that I made, I'll tell you the parts that I used. Oh, and I better take the helmet off and compare the heads. So of course I have the old sculpted clone, and the way that I did my scar is I heated up my X-Acto blade of my X-Acto knife, this here, with my lighter first, and it kind of melts into the skin, and then I painted it. So I think I used maybe a Clone Trooper Echo, or I forget, something like that. Could have been a Commander Cody. I don't see any scars on there though. But I used the Rex body, and then I cut off a Commander Cody's antenna, and then I cut the antenna off and I stuck a needle in there for the antenna. And then for the helmet, for the custom rangefinder, I kind of did the same thing. I cut off a Rex's rangefinder, but then I cut the top off and I stuck a needle down into the little thing, and I gotta actually hit that with some paint right there to cover up that little part. I just never got around to doing that, and then that's how I made the rangefinder. So there you go. Put the helmets on for the final comparison. So Hasbro's Commander Wolffe and Lucas Clone's Commander Wolffe. There you go. Alright, so there's been my video review. If you see Commander Wolffe, get him. He rocks. He's awesome. Worth it, worth it. And so until then, I'm going to do a video on the In Service of the Republic mini-comic, which is the comic where Commander Wolffe actually loses his eye next. So if you want to see that, stay tuned. And until then, may the Force be with you. Bye-bye.